Have you ever noticed how the same place can feel completely different depending on your mood? A rainy day can feel peaceful or depressing. A crowded street can feel exciting or overwhelming. What if I told you that the world you see isn't actually the world as it is, but the world filtered through your own mind? Today's story will show you how one man's entire reality transformed the moment he changed the way he looked at it. In a busy city lived a man named Daniel. He was 32 years old and worked at a medium-sized company. Every morning, Daniel woke up feeling tired. He dragged himself out of bed, looked in the mirror, and saw someone he didn't like. His job felt meaningless. His colleagues seemed cold and unfriendly. Even the weather always seemed gray and depressing to him. Daniel believed the world was against him. He thought, "Why is everyone so rude? Why is my boss so demanding? Why does nothing good ever happen to me?" One evening, after another frustrating day at work, Daniel sat alone in a small park near his apartment. He felt defeated. Life seemed unfair and heavy. Just then, an old woman sat down on the bench beside him. She was feeding breadcrumbs to the pigeons. She looked peaceful and content. Daniel glanced at her and said, "How can you be so calm? Don't you see how difficult the world is?" The old woman smiled gently. "Difficult? I see beauty everywhere." Daniel frowned. "Beauty? Where? All I see is struggle and disappointment." The woman turned to him and asked, "Tell me, young man, what color are your glasses?" Daniel was confused. "I'm not wearing glasses." "Oh, but you are," she said softly. "You're wearing invisible glasses colored by your thoughts, and those glasses change everything you see." Daniel didn't understand. The woman continued, "Let me ask you something. When you look at your colleagues, what do you see?" "I see people who ignore me, people who only care about themselves." "And your boss?" "A man who gives me too much work and never appreciates me." The old woman nodded. "Now tell me, have you ever smiled at your colleagues first? Have you ever thanked your boss for giving you opportunities to grow?" Daniel paused. He hadn't. The woman stood up slowly. Before leaving, she said, "The world is a mirror. It reflects back what you give it. Change yourself and watch the world change around you." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The woman's words kept playing in his mind. The world is a mirror. He thought about his daily interactions. He realized he never greeted anyone warmly. He never offered help. He always assumed the worst about people before they even spoke. The next morning, Daniel decided to try something different. When he entered the office, instead of walking straight to his desk with his head down, he smiled and said, "Good morning," to the receptionist. She looked surprised but smiled back. "Good morning, Daniel. Have a great day." It was a small moment, but it felt different. During lunch, Daniel's colleague Mark sat nearby. Usually, Daniel ignored him, but today, Daniel said, "Hey Mark, how's your project going?" Mark looked up, surprised. "Oh, it's going well, thanks for asking." Then Mark smiled and asked, "How about yours?" They talked for 10 minutes. Daniel realized Mark wasn't cold at all. He was actually quite friendly. Over the next few weeks, Daniel continued this experiment. He greeted people warmly. He listened when they spoke. He offered help without expecting anything in return. Slowly, something incredible happened. His colleagues started smiling at him more. They invited him to lunch. They asked for his opinions. His boss began noticing his positive attitude and gave him more interesting projects. But here's the strange part. Nothing in the outside world had actually changed. The same people were there, the same office, the same city. What changed was Daniel's perception. 1 month later, Daniel returned to the same park. The old woman was there again, feeding the pigeons. Daniel approached her and said, "You were right. The world did change." The woman smiled. "No, my dear, the world didn't change. You did. And because you changed, you started seeing the world differently." Daniel sat down beside her. I used to think everyone was cold, but now I see kindness everywhere. I used to think my job was meaningless. Now I see it as an opportunity. What happened? The woman replied, "You removed the dark glasses you were wearing. You stopped filtering everything through negativity. When you changed your inner world, your outer world transformed." Daniel learned a powerful truth that day. Reality isn't fixed. It shifts based on how we perceive it. Two people can live in the same city, work the same job, and have completely different experiences. Why? Because they wear different glasses. If you look at the world with fear, you'll see danger everywhere. If you look with gratitude, you'll see blessings. If you look with love, you'll see beauty. The world is a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. So if you want your life to change, start by changing yourself. Change your thoughts, change your attitude, change how you treat others, and watch as your entire reality shifts before your eyes. Because the truth is simple. The world changes only after you do. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you have the power to transform your reality simply by changing how you see it. Subscribe for more inspiring stories that will help you grow. See you in the next one.